it. Welcome to the Holistic Kids Show. My name is Zane.
My name's
And
Abdullah.
my name's Imad.
We're the Holistic Kids here to educate us kids from the inside out.
Zan, do you love colors, like all the colors in the array of our crayon box?
I love all the colors.
But is there one better than the other?
No, they're all different in their own way.
And just one color is boring. We won't be able to make a beautiful picture with just one color.
Exactly. A rainbow is beautiful because all of the colors inside it. And the more colors in the painting, the prettier it is. We love painting with lots of colors. And that's the same with race.
What is race?
Well, today we have the one and only Miss Cerina Vincent here to talk to us about our new book that helps, or her new book that helps educate us kids about the importance of our differences and highlights our similarities. This book is a must read, especially in this world where everything is so divided. She wrote an amazing book coming out tomorrow to help us kids talk about the beauty of race. And we read it and
We love it.
So, Miss Cerina Vincent is an American actress and a writer. She had her breakthrough role starring as Maya in the television series Power Rangers Lost Galaxy, followed by a part in the comedy film Not Another Teenage Movie, before going on to star in the horror film Cabin Fever, which established her as a scream queen and led to further roles in horror movies. But most recently, she appears as Suzy Diaz on the Disney Channel series Stuck in the Middle. We are so honored to have you here with us.
Oh my God, you guys, I'm so honored to be here. You're so good at this. You're so wonderful. My favorite podcast ever so far for the book. And we haven't even started yet. Great.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
It's our pleasure.
It's our pleasure.
So you've also written 3 books and you've wrote a large column for the Huffington Post and co-hosts the podcast Raising Amazing with Dr. Joel Gator. Which we have also had in our podcast, which when we first started. So thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you, boys. Thank you guys for having me. This is so cool. So cool. I love what you're doing.
So you went from being an actress to writing this amazing book on racial equality. We would love to hear your story.
Okay, I would love to tell it. So yes, I am an actor. As you guys so eloquently stated in the beginning, I've done lots of different things. But now my most important role in life is I'm a mother. And so I have a son who's 3. But when he was 14 months old, and I was, it's about the time you start, well, if you remember, like older brother, if you remember when, your
Yes.
youngest brother, you start teaching them like where their body parts are. Here's your nose, here's your eyes, here's your belly button, here's your toes. So I was teaching him those things, and I was feeding him in his high chair. And it was the day that actually of the tragedy of George Floyd. And I thought to myself on that day, well, what am I doing right now to teach my little baby who's only 14 months old? He couldn't even walk or talk. What am I doing to teach my baby about race? And so I wrote this book. I wrote this poem, put him down for a nap. I wrote this poem called Everybody Has a Belly Button. And within the poem, we talk about skin color and the differences and the similarities in our bodies. And he loved it. And it was originally just for him. But then I realized, you know what? Every baby needs it. This is where we need to start. We need to start talking about this immediately, not when our kids are 3, 4, 5, 6, right? Not when they're teenagers, but when they're babies. We need to talk about race right then and from the beginning. And now it's a book. Here it is.
So let's start from the beginning. What is race?
What is race? Are you asking me? That's a great
Yes.
question. Well, we all come from a different lineage, right? Even if we're American, right? We come from somewhere else. For example, my family comes from Italy. I am Italian, but um, I am classified as white, right? And so there are many different races all over the world, all over different countries, and I guess it can be defined by the differences in our cultures, right? In our
Yeah.
religions, in our skin colors. Um, so I guess the world sort of separates us by race, and we fall into these certain categories. But really, truly, right? It doesn't matter. Like, we're all human, right? We're all the
Right.
same
Yeah, right.
inside.
So that is so amazing. That I mean, everyone is equal, and there's been
Right.
so much like basically racism in the past, and it's so amazing that you made this book to help teach kids basically about treating each other the same.
Right. I think that there has been so much racism, right? So many people not treated equally because of their skin color, and also not having the same opportunities because of racism, right? So it's not just about everybody like being equal. It's about everyone also, or everybody being treated the same. It's also about everybody having equal opportunities. And a lot of times, different races are from different um, socioeconomic brackets. Let's put that in more kid-friendly terms. Some kids are born more with more money, and to families with more money, and some with less money, right? And there's more privileged families and less privileged families, and a lot of that equates to what race you are as well. So why is it that a child that was born into a less privileged family should have less opportunity than someone who was born into a more privileged? We can't help where we're born, right?
Right.
So we really, like, our whole planet needs to come together to change this. White people, brown people, black people, purple people, everybody needs to come together, and we all need to work together to change the conversation and start the conversation about racism early. So I wrote Everybody Has a Belly Button, and we talk about skin color, we talk about hair color, we talk about eye color, we talk about the differences in our bodies and our skin, but this book also highlights how our similarities also, our differences make us special, just like a rainbow, the rainbow of colors. We wouldn't have a rainbow if we didn't have the different colors. How sad, a world with no rainbows. But also our similarities. We are all the same.
We have heard a lot of racism. What is racism?
Well, racism, I guess my definition of racism in this moment would be if you are treated not the same as someone else because of your skin color, right? If you don't have the same opportunities, or you don't get the same treatment because of your skin color, your religion, your ethnic background, wherever you come from, that is, I think that's a pretty simple definition of racism. What do you guys think it is?
I think it's very similar to yours. I think it's being mean to someone who's different than you.
Yeah, like different, and basically you got everyone is a human, but people think that just because someone has a different skin that they're either less than them, or they're just like non-existent.
Exactly. And sometimes it's skin color. Sometimes it can be a religion. People can be racist against certain types of religion, right? Religions, religious backgrounds. And really, it's crazy. It's just crazy at the end of the day, like, and it's sad. And it's been going on for hundreds of years, centuries, right? But we're better than this. And we all need to come together, and it's people like you guys coming together to use your platform and your voices and your time and your energy to educate other kids that might be growing up in a racist family. Like, you know, again, like we can't choose our families. We don't choose what skin color we have. And we also don't choose the family that we come from. So it's up to all of us to, no matter where we come from or what color we are, to do our best to be kind to everybody.
Yeah, this is why we love your book. You talk about the importance of our similarities.
And we would love to know your thoughts. Why is racism still a problem in today's world?
Wow. Great question. I mean, that's a big question. I personally believe it's coming from the top. I believe that we have systemic racism, which means it is just ingrained in the fabric of how our society works and how I think we're doing a good job of changing. I think we're doing a good job of seeing different colored families and people and on television. For a while, TV was pretty much just white families and movies. There would be whole movies with just white people in them, and we're doing a better job of you know, as an actor, I can speak, you know, in the entertainment business. I think their entertainment business is doing a better job of uh, of including everyone in the productions, and I think it's very important for every child to see themselves in, you know, going back to the book. It was really important to me to have an artist, a Black artist, bring this book to life. I wrote the words, but my beautiful, talented, this dear, very talented artist named Zoi Hunter did the art for our book, and she's 18. She was 18 when she did it. Young Black woman, so incredibly talented. And, you know, going back to your original question, you know, because of our skin color, not everybody has the same opportunities, right? So it was important to me to give someone who potentially didn't have this opportunity, if she's actually done other books, the opportunity. But I think racism is starting from our politics. I think we need a big, huge overhaul in politics. I think we need an overhaul in our schools. We need an overhaul everywhere. Everybody needs to acknowledge that racism does exist, because as soon as we acknowledge that it does exist, we can all agree that it exists. Now we can all take the steps to actually change it, because some people think that it doesn't, and that's not true.
Yeah, we're taught in schools that racism is a thing of the past, but really, racism is still a threat and is still worldwide.
Wow, wait, that's really interesting. So you're taught in school that racism is a thing of the past.
I mean, we're taught about like Rosa Parks, but that's like 1960s, right?
Right. And so
We're talking about schools in the 1960s. They say, oh yeah, after that it's gone.
that's not true. You know that's not true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know that's not true. Yeah. I mean, it's people like you. Like, we need to keep talking about it. And like, look, I'm just a white person sitting here and talking about it. And I don't want to come off as a privileged white person talking about it. I wrote this book for my child because I want him to understand immediately that it doesn't matter what color our skin is. We all deserve the same opportunities, and we are all exactly the same.
That is
And
amazing.
our differences make us special, right? Because we aren't just the same. We are different. And our differences is what makes us all beautiful. And I say this, there's this beautiful page in the book I'll show you. The different colors, can you see this? All aglow, make everybody special like a rainbow. And if you see the rainbow of skin colors in those babies, I mean, I wanted every baby to see themselves, every child to see themselves in this book, every color, every race, every religion. And I think the artist really nailed it.
So that is amazing.
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 We know you have a health podcast about raising healthy kids. And we have done an interview with our mom, actually. And she talked about the us versus you mentality. When we live in balanced lives, do you feel that has a role? Because us kids are living in a world that's very negative and with increased screen time and just imbalanced lives.
Interesting. So the question, do I feel us versus you mentality. Yes, and living an imbalanced life. I absolutely think that screen time plays a part in this. Absolutely. Now that I am a mother, if I put on a cartoon for my 3-year-old just because I need to take the dishes out of the dishwasher, or I have to do a podcast, or like I have to send an email, and like, he's a toddler still. So if I put something on for him, I know I'm going to be paying for it later. Like I can actually see his brain like completely freak out when I turn it off. Like his body is just still, right? Our bodies are not meant to be still, right? His body is just still, and he's just staring at the screen, and he's just like getting all these images in front of his eyes, and it's messing with his thoughts in his brain. And so I limit screen time myself, but I absolutely think it plays a role. I mean, I there's a lot of things that I think are playing a role lately in like depression and anxiety for kids. The pandemic obviously doesn't help. And just sitting around looking at screens that doesn't help. Unhealthy food does not help. It's a whole list of things that can help us make us not feel our best.
So, what should us as kids do when we see someone not being treated well? Besides for giving them your amazing book, what else do we do? Because if you see someone like um, verbally abusing someone just because they're different, like how should someone stand up to them?
Wow, that's such a beautiful question. I mean, number one is stand up for them. Speak up. Say something. Tell a teacher. Like you don't need to put yourself in danger. You need to get yourself in a fight with whatever bully is doing this. But if we don't speak up and say something, then these things are going to keep happening. So I think number one is speak up. And number two is be an example. Be an example of a human, a child, a kid, a teenager, whatever, to who who might see someone who doesn't have a lot of friends. You might know someone who is getting bullied because of their skin color or whatever differences they have. They're getting made fun of. Why not? Why not reach out to them? Ask them to sit with you at lunchtime. Ask them to join you for a game after school or something. I mean, I remember doing that. I was a very like empathetic child, and I remember doing this when I was a kid. Some of the kids that were bullied, for example, there was a little girl that was being bullied. People would say that she was dirty. It's very sad. She was poor. People called her dirty and would say terrible things. And she was, it wasn't necessarily race. She was a white girl, but they were bullying her because of her having less than what they had. And it broke my heart. And I made a point as, a third grader to ask her to sit with me and to reach out to her. And when she was crying, to like go to her and talk to her. I don't know if it helped, but it helped me feel better about the situation. I mean, we all have to do what we can so we sleep at night. We have
Yeah,
to speak up and do our best. So we go to bed knowing, well, you know what? I did good today.
yeah, that is
Everyone did a
phenomenal.
little bit better every day. Our world would be a lot better.
100%.
100
You guys are so great.
million. A lot of kids may just pass by when someone is being mean. That doesn't help anyone, and the mean actions will never stop. So it's important to stand up for others. That's how we can create change.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You stand up for others, you speak up, you're an example. And there's some other kids that might feel the same way as you, like, oh, that like hurts. Like, I hate that these people are being bullied, but they might not have the confidence to speak up. You speaking up, us speaking up, everybody speaking up, you're modeling that for other kids. Gives them the confidence to like, you know what, I can do that too. That was really cool.
So, are there things that teachers can help with lowering racism in the school and in the classrooms?
other things teachers can help with lowering racism. Well, I mean, come on. First, you can find my book. Everybody has a belly
Yeah,
button.
that's the
I'm
first
just
thing.
kidding. That's a really good question, and I'm going to be really honest. My child is not in school yet. He's 3. He hasn't gone to preschool yet. So I would be doing a huge disservice if I was trying to tell teachers what to do differently, because I have had no experience with teachers now. Now, I have experience with my own teachers, but that was, 30 years ago. So that many years ago, we didn't really talk. They didn't talk to us about race and racism. I mean, we had like Black History Month, but there wasn't deep conversations about what is still going on now, as you guys outlined. So, um, because my kid is in school, I don't really know what's going on now. But I will say I know that every teacher, I think, needs to discuss it because it's still happening.
That is amazing.
Amazing.
Teachers,
Amazing.
you have to discuss racism in the class. Otherwise, the people won't know. The kids in the classroom won't know how to deal with it when they become older. So,
True.
what about something you know a lot about Hollywood? Is there
Yeah.
something we can do in Hollywood to create more equality?
Wow. Well, Hollywood is trying, as I said before, Hollywood is, I feel like, trying to do a better job of making sure that there is diversity in all films and in television series, and not just in front of the camera, but also behind the camera. And that also includes women, female directors and writers. And because for a long time, men dominated the entertainment business. So I do think Hollywood is doing a good job of creating more diversity, but there can always be more, 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 more. And I feel like the more, like, we need more voices of color. We need more writers of color. We need more writers of every race, every ethnicity, writing things, because that's where it all starts, right? The movies that you watch and the TV shows that you love, it all starts from someone's brain and their little fingers at their keyboard. All of these shows come from someone's mind. The writers start everything. So if we have more diverse writers, we're going to see more diverse programs.
That is amazing.
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 You guys are amazing.
Thank you so much. In our house, treat others the way we treat others the way you wanted to be treated.
Yeah, that's the
That's right. The
golden rule.
golden rule. The golden rule.
Also, whenever that like I mean that's a great rule, and there's so much more you can also do when coming past someone that has been uh, that has been basically
Discriminated
viewed by
against.
someone else
Yeah.
that basically like they don't they feel like they don't belong, I'm trying to say.
Mm-hmm.
And what you should do is that imagine like if everyone felt like they belonged, then the entire world would basically, not fall apart.
Oh, you are that is so wise. That is so wise. Yes. Most people feel like, I mean, I'll be honest. I feel like I don't belong sometimes. Like, I feel like everybody feels insecure sometimes. It's totally natural to feel nervous and to feel insecure. Something's going on with this. The sun is coming right in through my window. Sorry.
It's
It's
fine.
totally normal to feel insecure and to feel like not confident about stuff and nervous about things. That's normal. But if you have an overwhelming sense of I don't belong, I mean that's debilitating. An overwhelming sense of not belonging can really stop you from doing what's in your heart. And you're right. If everybody just felt like good in their bodies, good in their skin, good in their families, that they belonged somewhere, you're right. We would have a more peaceful world, I bet.
100%.
100%.
100%.
So let's talk about more about you and your amazing book. What age group is that written for? Because I mean, every single page has like 5 words in it. right? And then there's the beautiful artwork.
Yeah, so I'll read you a little bit here. So it's for babies and toddlers. It's a board book, so it's like on hard, paper for so like the little they won't like rip the pages and so the first couple pages, everybody has a belly button, everybody has a nose, everybody has a mouth, everybody has toes, everybody has hair. Some have black or brown or blonde or red, some have gray or silver on their head. The different colors, all aglow, make everybody special like a rainbow. So it goes through your whole body parts like hair, skin, eyes, the whole body. And then we talk about how everybody is unique. And some people have scars, some people have special needs, some people are in wheelchairs. And those differences are important to call out too, right? They're important for like as we talk about our similarities, we also have to acknowledge our differences, and our differences is what makes us beautiful. So it's written for babies and toddlers, but honestly, I'm there are much older kids that are finding joy in it. And it's also like written in rhyme, which helps kids learn how to read. Actually, it's like proven that it helps kids learn how to read and helps early literacy. So I hope that parents will find it like a nice companion to other books that as kids sort of like start sounding out letters and words and things.
This is a great Everyone Has a Belly Button is a great book to help a kid or a toddler or a 3-year-old basically find out what the world is and how they should experience the world and read. um
Wow, I want to keep reading that. I can't wait to get our copy.
Thank
I mean, we have
you.
paper copy, but it's not as good as the real one.
Yeah, you'll get I thank you for ordering. I so appreciate it. Yeah, when you have the real copy in your hands, it'll feel even better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So where can people learn about more about you and your work?
You can follow me on social media at Cerina Vincent, Cerina Vincent. The book page is at Everybody Has a Belly Button. And I'm also on Twitter and Facebook. And you can buy the book everywhere. So Barnes & Noble, Amazon, Target. You can find the book literally anywhere you can buy books. So you can pre-order it now. It comes out tomorrow.
That was so empowering. Everyone make sure to follow Miss Cerina on Mrs. Cerina on social media and get her book. Her book is a must-have for every home. Oh, and your show on the Disney Channel is so funny. It's a must-watch.
We
I love
watched
you guys.
all the seasons.
Yeah,
Thank
we
you
watch
so much.
every episode.
Did you know that your mother has a quote on the back of my book?
We heard about it. We didn't actually
Yeah.
see it
This
though.
book is a
There's
must-have
lots of
for every
kids.
home and every classroom, a critical stepping stone for world peace and love. Madiha Saeed, MD, physician, best-selling author of the Holistic RX for Kids. So I sent a list of all of these, wonderful endorsements from doctors and celebrities, and my publisher picked your mother's as the favorite, and it ended up on the back of the book. So that's a really cool connection.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Miss Cerina. We know you are very busy, and we are so honored to have you on our show.
Let's recap Miss Cerina's key points.
Number 1, the color of your skin, your hair makes you who you are, makes you special. We need to all work together to change the world, change that worldwide. Notice your differences. Noticing things about one another is how we start to understand each other exactly how we are. And we can start to celebrate each other. Our differences make us beautiful. We love what Daniel Tiger says, or when we were
So-
kids.
Yes.
In some ways we are different, and in so many ways we are the same.
Yes.
If we were all the same, we would be so boring. And the more color, the better.
Absolutely.
We all have physical differences, but we have so many more similarities, as we all have a belly button. And we all have feelings and emotions, and we are all one race, the human race.
That's right.
We are a part of the same family.
Right.
Treat others the way you want to be treated, but when we treat others unfairly or different because of their skin color, that is not fair.
But if you see someone being mistreated, stand up and say something about it. We all need to speak out, and we all have to speak about it and talk about when you've grown up about it. Otherwise, it'll just continue. Model that for other kids.
And there is something everyone can do to make things right. We all have our little part in the world, as one job can create that ripple effect that can change the world inside and out. It may take time, but it'll be worth it at the end.
Racism is still a problem in today's world, even though it's better. We still have so much more to learn. Time to start talking about and celebrating our differences and highlighting our similarities. And it starts with this book. Everybody has a belly button. This book should be a part of every school and every home, so we can start to create a change and end racism once and for all. Thank you, Miss Cerina, for bringing this to the world. This book is seriously a small stepping stone for the world peace.
Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. You guys are amazing. I want to cry. You're doing good work out there. Thank you for doing what you are doing.
It's
And
our
for
pleasure.
It's our pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you again, Miss Cerina. This was a huge honor.
Huge.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Until next time, I'm Zain Ansari.
I'm Abdullah.
And I'm Iman.
Follow my family and I on social media, Holistic Mom MD, and look out for my mom's book, The Holistic Arts, Your Guide to Healing Chronic Inflammation and Disease. And we are so excited to announce our mom's new books, The Holistic Arts for Kids, Parenting Healthy Brains and Bodies in a Changing World, and the amazing children's book we wrote together called Adam's Healing Adventure, The Power of Rainbow Foods. So check it out on Amazon. Yay! We have a special gift for everyone listening because we're almost at our 2-year mark. We want to give you all a special dessert cookbook. We know most kids love sweets.
Almost all.
Yeah, not everybody likes sweets. But we put all of our favorite recipes just for you. And check it out on the description of this podcast.
Wherever it is right now.
Kids need to learn from other kids. Please download our podcast in iTunes and leave a review so other kids and families can benefit. We need to work together to create a healthier future for all of us and the planet. Join us next week for another episode of the Holistic Kids Show, where kids are empowering kids.
Thank you, everyone.